Well, it's Yasmin. Thank you so much for your time.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to be here and be back and working.
I know, yes.
And even though this is not work, like I love what I get to do. So let's talk about, I think Mariana said this is your second round with us. So in the first round, you kind of shared your ways. But let's talk about what happens after iconing. Like, how did it change your life? Did it change your life? And then what do you do today that you didn't do while you were concentrating on iconing, which probably going to take us into the conversation of agent attraction.
Yes.
So let's start with.
So you're talking about capping. I was doing my numbers yesterday, and I'm going to cap this month when the transactions I have pending closed. I'm going to be capping. So that means I'm going to cap in 2 months.
That's amazing.
The first year, I think it took me 4 months, and
Yeah.
then last year, oh shoot, hold on, I'm sorry, I didn't see my computer, sorry, it's going to die. So in this year, so last year I capped in 3 months, and this year is going to be
2 months.
Isn't that amazing?
So that means you have 10 months to icon, which you'll do it with your eyes closed. So let's talk about the first, oh gosh, stop it. You know, you can pull your numbers. So let's talk about the first time you iconed. How did that feel?
It was unbelievable because I didn't think I will be, I'm going to make it to icon. So I was working so hard to icon. So I was very, very excited and getting my cap back. So when I joined EXP, that was my goal, kind of.
Get your cap back. Yeah. And I remember so to the ones that weren't maybe on your first icon training, that you literally capped the day before your anniversary date. So Friday you had your last closing, and Saturday I think was your anniversary date.
Yes.
And you called me like, they're not going to process this closing until Monday or Tuesday. So
I was bugging them like through work chat, and I'm like, please process this, that, like trying to make everything.
So what is that icon award worth today? So we are talking, this is your first icon. So you got this back in 19 or 20, in 20, right? Yes. So you got this in 2020. How many stacks, I guess, did you get for that approximately for that?
Well, it's a process, because you have to attend, and then you have to do like, I think I did interviews for other icons. So this year I'm going to actually be a mentor. So I just I'm a certified mentor now.
Congratulations.
Yes, so I'm going to be a mentor this year to be able to get some of my stocks, but I feel like, I know it's more work, and you already did the work, the 20 transactions, but I feel like it's fair to give back, like to teach other new agents to how they can.
I mean, that's the best thing about EXP. I mean, we are famous for collaboration. What I feel like Keller Williams used to hold that title, I feel like we hold that title today. This is the company where the collaboration is insane. Like, I have never had so many leads and so much help and so many taps on the shoulders of like, oh, hold on a minute, I already have that report, I'll just give it to you. It is totally different than what I ever had before. So what do you think that's worth, though? For the sake of the conversation, what do you think those stocks
when
are?
I'm going, I think some of the stocks were at $8.50, and I think that year the average was $11.
So you got almost $16,000. So like it's at least $8,000 worth of stocks at $11 a piece. How much are the stocks today, guys?
I think it was 53.
53. Okay, so let's see. So we're gonna divide 8,000 by 11. So you got, gosh, 8,000 divided by 11. You got 727 stocks, the first cut. We are going to multiply that by 53. It's worth $38,545. The reason why I wanted to do this math, guys, is because, and I don't know if I'm the only one with this, when I looked at the icon program coming into EXP, because I didn't know anything about stocks. Like, we had stocks from my husband's 401k, but I wasn't trading yet. We had a financial advisor who was handling that. I didn't know anything about stocks. So the way I looked at it, that $16,000 worth of stocks, my cap back in stocks, to me in my mind was worth $16,000. Raise your hand if that's how you looked at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so most of us, it's worth $16,000 worth of stock. So in my mind, that's worth 16,000. The way I looked at it is if I'm paying in 16 and I'm getting back 16, I'm saving that money. I'm at zero in the end of the year. That's good. But look at it, you only got 8,000 back at that time because you have to earn the other, correct? You have to earn the other 8. So
Yeah.
then now you have, or was it 12? How was it?
It's 8, and then it's 2 and 2 for the shareholders, and and then there is 4 if you're a mentor or if
exactly. Okay, so at least
you can teach in the world, so you cannot pick what do you want to do. So I decided this year to be a mentor just because new agents, here in Michigan, they are joining Team Gogo, so I want to mentor them,
Awesome.
So so that's why I decided to get certified mentor.
And that's also an additional source of income. That's also another 10% of those agents' commission.
And I'm doing it anyways, like I'm doing it, so kind of. So I thought like, okay, I can actually be officially their mentor.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But look at it, just half of your cap that you got back then is worth 38,000 today. Yeah. So you didn't get back 16, you got back 8, that's worth 38 today. It's just unbelievable. But for my brain, I didn't understand that. Yeah. I just looked at it as 16,000, call it a day. So now you can look and realize, hold on a minute, it does matter when you join the company. It does matter if you're putting the 5% away, because if you just starting the 5% when the stocks are $53 a piece, it's a totally different amount of stocks that you receive than if you would have done it 3 years ago when you joined. I actually had a conversation today with one of our agents who didn't join into the 5% and just joining now. And it's hitting her head in the wall because realizing that how much the stock values went up. So this is why we're having these meetings all the time, is to help people realize certain things that your brain cannot comprehend on its own. You have to learn it from somebody else's experience. So that was your first year Stack Awards. Then you are a 2-time icon. So you, in a second round, it took you 3 months to cap. And then how long before your anniversary date that you already iconed?
By February. I iconed by February, so it was...
That's amazing. Your anniversary is July 1st, isn't it?
June 1st.
June 1st. Okay. So you iconed the second time around. So, okay. So first time around, it took you 4 months to cap and it took you up to last day to icon. Yes. The second time around, it took you 3 months to cap and you iconed already 4 months before your anniversary date was up.
Yeah. So it took me 9 months to icon. So the first year it took me 12 months to icon. My second year took me 9 months. So this year it took me 2 months to icon, icon to cap, which is amazing because I was traveling a lot, so I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to take forever for me to cap because when you are, when you're focused on agent attraction and helping agents to, to produce and help them, you spend a lot of that time and then traveling to here. We went to Cabos and Arizona. So I was kind of like all over the place. And so
but that takes me to the next question, because the first year, it took you the 4 months to cap, all year to icon. You didn't know agent attraction.
No, I didn't do it.
Actually, you did. You had like what?
Yes, I had. Yeah, Talia was my first agent, and she decided to join us. And
yes. And then she decided to go crazy. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
Talia. Yeah. But then second year, it took you 3 months to cap, 4 years before your anniversary, or 4 months, so 8 months to icon, and then you attracted how many agents?
So this year, from February, I think, to now, we're like this week, 2 agents joined this week. So I have 21 total, 21 agents.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But
I'd like to mention something.
Yeah.
Because last time Yasmin was here, she had 17. And that was like 2 months ago, I think. A month and a half-ish.
That was last month. Yeah.
Yeah, last month.
Something like that. Yeah. Because last
month. 4 agents in a month.
2 agents last month.
A month and a half, yeah.
This
yeah.
month. Yeah.
That's amazing. Congratulations. But here's the question though. You speeded up your iconing but you attracted 4 times more agents than you did the year before in the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So what changed?
I felt like from this year, since I already icon in February, I knew I'm going to icon, you know, like, so I decided to reduce my production. I mean, it was not like, okay, I want to make less money. No, it was just like, okay, my focus is going to be more on agent attraction. And that's what I did, you know. So a lot of my time I was spending to, you know, agent attraction because I already icon. And yes, of course, I was still producing and I was getting way more money because I was just paying $75 per transaction. But at the same time, I didn't have the pressure to icon. So this year, even, you know, in June, I say like, okay, I guess I'm going to slow down on agent attraction because I want to icon again.
Yeah.
So, but it didn't happen because I think, and that's what we always talk about, you know, you are not going to get results right away. Like you're not going to get, it's a work, it's a process that you have been doing. So even in June, I decided my reset, my anniversary day is June 1st. I still doing agent attraction and I attracted 4 agents because that's as the result that I have been doing months before my anniversary day, you know. Yeah. So actually I can believe I didn't even know that that I'm on a cap this month with the pending transactions. And so now my goal is, okay, I need to icon again this year. And I already have 3 new constructions pending. So I have 10 months to close 17 transactions. And at the same time, I can keep working agent attraction and production. And it's just like tracking numbers. We always talk about tracking. If I didn't track my numbers yesterday, I didn't
you would not know that you're capping in 2 months.
I'm capping in 2 months. And I'm like, oh my gosh, when this closed, I'm gonna cap, you know. And I lost 2 deals this month. So actually I'm gonna close 6 transactions in August. And I had like 8 transactions. I didn't even realize how many transactions I have pending, to be honest. But that's why it's so important to track all the time. So that way you can set up new goals and adjust. Okay, now what do I need to do? Because now it's totally different. Now it's not about capping. Now it's about how I'm going to icon and how long I want.
And you can do it in a few ways. You could say, okay, I have 10 months to 10 months to icon, which 17 transactions since you have 3 pending. So that is 1.7 transactions a month. Or you might say, you know what, I'll take a month off. So then I'll do 2 transactions in the next 9 months and then I'm done. Or you might say, I really want to get iconing done first. So I'm going to take 6 months, do 3 transactions a month, and I'm done. And then I have 4 more months to focus all together on agent attraction. Now, I wouldn't do that though, because I wouldn't want to wait with agent attraction. And here's the reason why. This year is going to be the fastest growing year of EXP. Even though we have been growing like crazy, the fact is, look at it this way. When I joined, there were 16,000 agents. Even if they each brought 1 agent, but we would double in size, it would only take us to 32,000, right? Now there's 60-some thousand of us, which we each just bring 1 agent. It is going to double us inside, but it's going to take us to 120. So which means now we have 60 more thousands of agents that are potentially joining you this year. You want a cut of that. You want a few of those to be under you. As Brent Go says, they're all coming. It's the matter of when and who they're signing up under. So you don't have the luxury of missing out. If agent attraction is important to you, you do not have the luxury of waiting 6 months to start attracting, because you miss out on a huge opportunity. So if both of them are important to you equally, you have to do them both simultaneously at the same time.
Yeah. And it takes time too. You know, it takes time to agent attraction too, just like capping, just like iconing. I mean,
just like you did to me.
But yes, but you can see, like right now, revenue share, I'm paying my mortgage and I'm paying gas and I'm paying utilities.
So here's my next question. This is a closed group, so your numbers stay here, and everybody who's watching this, no matter at what point you're watching it, you're not allowed to share these numbers outside of our group. Do you feel comfortable, Yasmin, sharing your dashboard so they can see what those icon awards mean today in stocks, and they can see what your revenue share looks like with 21 agents in your front line?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Hold on. I
Let
think
me
I do.
let me give you the right to share. Okay, let's start with the stack first.
Can I share?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, hold on. Let me. I was not prepared to share.
I figured, but those are the best meetings is when you're not prepared. Look at this hair. I'm not prepared to be here either. Look at my hair.
I have a closing activity. That's the only reason I decided to have makeup. I think.
Katie, congratulations.
Thank you.
Closings are the best day
Oh,
in real estate. That and rev share payout day. Those are great too.
So yeah, my revenue share when like I see the results from February. You know what I'm saying? So it's February, March. Oh, sorry, I have to learn Spanish.
I'm like, I'm in
4
Hungary.
months. It's like 4 months. So it went from pretty much in 4 months, you know, because before I didn't really have a lot of, my internet is pretty slow. But so yes.
So let's start with stacks and share your screen, and then we go to revenue share and share the screen.
Okay, I don't know why. Super slow. I mean, it's not working, but I can show you here. I think I have my, I don't know why it's so slow. Everyone is in my house, my husband, my
they're using
kids, you know, so the internet is kind of like, yeah. And okay, here we go. Okay, it's working now. Hopefully. I don't know, is enterprise working for you? Because it's not.
Let me see. Yeah, mine is up and running.
It's not running, so, but I can.
If you do it on your phone, maybe just show your, if you can pull it up on your phone, you could do that if you have to.
Yeah, I wonder because it's no.
Hmm.
I don't know why. Hold on. Here, is that one? Yeah, it's not. Hold on. Yeah, it's not working. But I have the screenshot of the.
Yeah, just do it on your phone. Yeah, stop sharing so then we can see you better.
Yeah, so you can see.
Can you stop sharing on the laptop first?
Yeah, sorry. Hold
Yeah,
on.
so we can see you better.
Yeah.
There we go. So $302,000 in.
That was like 2 days ago. I think yesterday was 306.
Holy crap. Sorry.
Yeah.
$302,000 in 2 years that you've been with the company. 2 years and 2 months.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And most of those are for your icons. Most of those are for agent attraction and some of the 5% that you paid in. How much do you think you paid in the 5% stock option if you had to take a wild guess?
Probably by now, maybe 25, 20 something, 20, or maybe between 20 and $30,000.
So you paid in, let's say, round up to the 30. You paid in 30,000 and it's worth 302, worth 10 times more. So sad. Granted, there are free stocks in there in multiple different shape and form.
And I'm still going to get my icon, you know.
But second, your icon you haven't even received yet.
No, all, yeah. I'm still waiting.
You're going to have $500,000 soon in stocks alone, and you've been with the company less than 3 years.
I know, isn't that crazy? Like,
That's insane.
somebody asked me today, hey, did you change? I did a post, and I guess I don't know. I guess I didn't tag EXP or something, and she thought, she sent me a message, and she said like, hey, did you leave EXP? And I'm
Like, oh, hell no.
no. I mean, I will never leave EXP unless they kick me out of the company, because it's like no break. I'm like, no way.
No,
Yeah.
no other brokerage
Changed
will
my
give
life,
you a step
changed
back.
my business. I mean, it's just, yeah. It's
That's
amazing.
amazing. That's amazing. So I feel the same way though. I'm not going anywhere. The only way I'm leaving from here is when I'm dead and they carry me out on a stretcher, or they're fire me if there's a way, but I ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love this company. It changed my life. It changed our business life. It changed our, financial freedom and time freedom. And it gives us the ability to live anywhere because you're not a tree. It gives you the ability to work with technology on the beach. Is just so different. And having multiple revenues of income and having this cushion to retire on one day, Yasmin, you would have done the same amount of business if you were at another brokerage, correct?
Yeah. I don't know if maybe I'm not sure about the same amount, but
Maybe you would have pushed your heart as hard, but you would have done at least 70.
Oh yeah, top producer, yeah, for sure. Yeah, but like I feel like the Icon program for me, the first year was like, oh, I'm getting those 16,000 back. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna let EXP to keep that, and that's why I did it. But and of course, I learned so much from all these meetings and from you guys. Then every time I keep implementing new things, and that's how I feel like sometimes talking with agents, then they feel overwhelmed and they don't. Well, they say it's not really working, and I feel like you have to, and that's what I did, a post that I did yesterday, because you have to put the time to train, to fit your brain. You have to, because every single time, because if you think like, okay, you're already Icon, you're already pulling, 40 transactions as a solo agent. I don't have a team, like I'm by myself. I don't have a husband working with me, like it's me, and I'm running all over with my kids, practices, dentist appointments, everything in the house with them. And of course, Kyle helps me, but he has a full-time job. I mean, it's me that has more flexible job. So, but I'm always in meetings. I'm all the time in the meetings.
Me too. Because you cannot possibly, okay, let's put it this way. The person who had the knowledge to make $100,000, it's a totally different person who's going to make $1 million. You cannot have the knowledge for 100,000 to make $1 million. You just can't. You have to learn how to make $1 million. It's a totally different level. So each level requires a different you. So if you don't train you, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. What it takes to make $100,000, it's totally different skills. It's totally different time. It's a totally different mindset that it takes to make $1 million. So you have to train yourself. You can't expect your bank account to grow if you as a person don't grow. The two go simultaneously. I probably spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on investing into myself with coaching and mentoring and all of the events that we go to. I mean, if you see an EXP event, I'm there. I missed one sprint, this past sprint, even though I qualified for it, I had to miss it so I can go home and see my family because I haven't seen them in 3 years. Other than that, name another event and I wasn't there. I was not even an Icon. I just joined EXP and I went to Vegas and I went to Orlando. And I mean, I didn't even have a business card when I went to Vegas, and it's just like, because I really feel like you learn something new that you can implement in your business. But don't look at events of how much it's going to cost you. Look at events as what you're going to learn. But most importantly, don't come to an event if you're going to be in the bar getting shit-faced until midnight, waking up too late to show up to the training. So then you miss the training. So then you can't learn something new. So you can't come back and implement it. If you're going to come to events so you can lollygag all day poolside, then don't come. It's a waste of your time. Then at that point, it is an expense. But if you come to events so you can learn something new, so you can come back and implement what you learned, I don't care if that event is going to cost you $1,200, you're going to come back and make $10,000. Easy. With the knowledge that you're going to learn. But that's why every time I see agents canceling events because they have to go do this and that, in my mind, I'm thinking you are missing out on so much, you have no idea. Or agents that are not even showing up, not even registering in the first place. You're not saving that money. You're going to lose because you're not going to be able to catch up with the ones that are coming to learn. and coming to implement. And then you're going to be hitting your head in the wall of why I don't see those results. You don't see those results if you don't put in the time and the effort. It's really that simple. We create our own present, so sad. And for that, you have to train, and which you do. You're there at every event. And this is what I love about you. Like literally when I went to Arizona, it was not a EXP event. It was a private event that I got invited to. And Yasmin hit me up and said, can I go with you? Can I please go with you? I'll pay. Can I just sleep in your bed and I'll be a wallflower? You won't even know I'm there. And that's what I respect about her, because she goes above and beyond. She doesn't just like, oh yeah, that would be a great idea, let me go to that event. Even if she's not invited, even if it's not open to the public, she'll ask, can I go to that event? And that's the reason for her success, is because she seeks out things that are not necessarily readily available for everyone, but she goes above and beyond to try to partake in that, because she knows she's going to learn something from it, and then come back, implement, and be a 2x icon, and have $300,000 in stocks in 2.5 years, less than 2.5 years.
Yeah, I don't wait for an invite. If I want to go, I will ask. I mean, to be honest, like if I want to go,
I would be like,
gonna go. I mean, what's the worst thing you're gonna say? Sorry, no, you can't. Okay.
Exactly. No, I went to the very first event at EXP, I remember, and well, 2 events, and I remember the very first one was with the honey badgers. And I remember sitting in the room and everybody was like, they own teams with 500 agents. They do 98 million in a year, or they are like, they just did $1 billion with their team. And then there was little Gogo. And I was like, hi, I'm brand new and I'm a single agent, do 7-9 million a year. But I had goals. I was like, I'm going to be a top agent attractor. That's one of the reasons why I joined this company. And when I sat there in between those agents, I realized proximity is power. And the only way you're going to learn that if you are sitting right next to them. When you're sitting next to your top producing agents, the one that you have on a pedestal way up there, and you're like, well, I can't be Tina Call because Tina Call is Tina Call. Guess what? When you're sitting next to Tina Call, she's a human being. And that removes that distance between you and Tina Call and makes it so much easier attainable to you. You're like, if she can do it, I can do it. She's sitting right next to me. You know what I mean? And anything like that. When I sat next to Grant Cardone, and I tell you this story with Elena Cardone holding my bathroom stall door. I'm sitting there, she's holding the bathroom stall door, and I'm thinking, I think I made it. I think I made it in life. Elena Cardone is holding my bathroom stall door because it was broken. But I would have never had that opportunity if I didn't go to that event in Cabo and happened to be sitting right behind her. You know what I mean? That's why proximity is power. But then you have to meet your opportunity. You have to get off your ass, buy yourself an airplane ticket, share a room with someone, or buy your own, whatever you can afford, and then show up for yourself. You don't show up for EXP. You show up for yourself and your own training and your own future to change it. So back to the conversation of revenue share. So in the first year, even though you attracted 4 agents, your revenue share wasn't necessarily worth mentioning, correct? That's not the reason.
It was worth mentioning because it was revenue share. It was a passive income. I remember, I think my first revenue share was 19 cents. And I was like, oh, I was so excited. I was so excited. Like, oh my gosh, I got my first revenue share. And Kyle was like, how much do you get? And I was like, 19 cents. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna give you, kind of joking, like, oh, honey, you not even buy me a drink. And I'm like, it's money that I didn't work for it.
I didn't,
so
then I didn't have to work for
19 cents was a big deal. Like I like to celebrate things, even if they are big or they are small. It's just the way, because
if you can celebrate the small things, you're not deserving of the big ones. When I walk and I see, I don't care if it's a penny on the ground, I have to pick it up.
So that was my first revenue share. And then I think in January it was $300. And then now it's about $2,300.
So show us so we can see the visual.
So
Oh yeah, I think it's working now. Hold on.
What I meant by not worth mentioning meant like you didn't spend your efforts on agent attraction.
First
year. Yeah. Agent attraction wasn't important to you in the first year. You didn't start until after you icon.
I regret it, to be honest. And I know you told me 1,000 times and I didn't listen. I mean, I was trying. but it is hard, it is work, and everything that is good, it requires work, and it requires, I was sitting before I decided, okay, I'm going to take agent attraction serious. I was sitting every Wednesday at 8 o'clock for Why Not EXP. I didn't even have a guest, but I was sitting there every single Wednesday so I can know and I can talk about what I'm going to be selling. So in Wednesdays, I used to wake up at that time at 4:45 in the morning to go and work out. So for me, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, I was just like, I couldn't even talk, And
You showed up. You showed up every time.
But I was there. Why? Because I want to learn. There is no way that, and if you don't go to the trainings, if you don't show up, how are you going to learn? And that's just everything in life. So so I decided to do that so I can learn. And even now, then I kind of feel like I know the model. I always learn something. Always learn. So even now, sometimes I don't have a guest, and I will just log in. I will attend Why Not EXP because somebody's going to ask a question. Then I didn't know how to answer, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that, or things change, So so I do that.
Even just recently, someone asked me a question. I can't remember what it was. I think it was something about what if a husband and wife join, but the wife joins later, who's on top or who's the main agent or something like that. And I had to call Christy. I was like, actually, I don't know. Like, do you get to choose, or does the first one is automatically the main agent?
You get to choose.
You said, but I didn't know that. Until recently, somebody asked me that question, and I do okay with agent attraction, I would say, but I didn't know the answer to the question. So no matter how long, and also EXP changes their policies all the time. I mean, so things change, let alone even if you knew something, if they change the policy, like initially when we joined, you remember it was 20% discount on stocks. Now it's 10% discount on stocks. Yeah. Initially, when we joined, it was 2 transactions or $5,000 commission for someone to become an FRQA. Now it's only the 5,000 GCI for someone to become an FRQA. So things change all the time, and you have to stay on top of it. And the only way you can is if you really are active in these trainings, if you go and get that information for yourself, because it's readily available for all of us. I mean, I didn't, somebody put it this way to me, and I was like, wow, that was eye-opening to me, especially. They said, how come that the same things happen? How come some people are successful and some aren't? It's the same situation, different decisions. COVID happened to all of us. Some really took a hit, and some adjusted their sales and continued their top producing career. And if not, maybe even came out as with a better year than some before. And that's because of the decisions you make. COVID happened to all of us. COVID didn't just happen to some and and happen to the other. It happened to all of us. We have the same president, the same tax structure. Everything is the same. Some people are successful, some aren't. And that's just the same circumstance, different decisions. That's what makes someone successful. So Yasmin, we didn't see your screen.
I know it's not working for some reason here. It's not working. I don't know why.
That's okay. Show on your phone if you can.
Here, it's still waiting. No. Hold on, let me see if I can log in.
Yeah.
Just a reminder that the Icon series is 30 minutes long. You don't have anything after, but so you can go. You only have a next appointment at 2 o'clock, but just so you know.
Thank you. I'm just so excited to be here. I could talk for days. Because the easiest way to become successful is copying the ones who do it. You don't have to invent the wheel. Like when I do things, I literally, when I get a new great idea, I go and research the ones who are already doing it. There's no point for me to invent the wheel. If somebody's already doing it, go copy. It's clearly working.
Yeah, I know. I was on a call with Mark Zuko today. He's like, I'm finally ready to get going. I've had some, medical issues, and I'm ready. Like, he's like, this is it. Today's day one, and I'm starting. And we've set up this whole, .work website, and I showed him some things around, and he's like, he started talking, and he shared your Facebook, and he's like, so this is my plan. He goes, I'm not copywriting anything, or what's the other word he said? I'm not going to steal any of her information. but I wanna, is it okay? Like, he was really worried, like, is it okay if I take whatever Gogo does and just duplicate it? And I said, yes, that's what you're supposed to do. He's like, oh, okay. But yeah, like,
Exactly. Take
still,
your own picture, change
Yeah.
a couple of words and post it. I could care less. I mean, because when you grow, I grow. And it's not
Yes.
like I invented the wheel. I probably saw something along those lines on someone's wall and I was like, what a great idea. And I just put it in my own words. So if
this
something's
year I'm
different,
going to do something different. Like I'm going to do a client appreciation bowling. And so just because my business is based on referrals and of course social media, because I'm always posting. And so some people, a lot of my clients, they see my post or they see my content, you know, but a lot of are coming from referrals. So now this year, I haven't done it before, but that's something I want to do this year.
I love the bowling idea because then you can take your clients and break them up into teams and stuff and then just be a little competitive. Everybody has a drink, you're goofing around. That's a great idea.
Yeah, so the plan was for me to do it. I was thinking about movie night or something like that, but movie night is difficult because if you have little kids or you have, you know, older kids or all that kind of stuff to rent one of the things. So this year, I think I'm going to do that because that it's pretty much, you know, all ages and parents and kids can play, and it's just a way to say, you know, thank you so much for your business. So that's I was planning to do that September. Now it's middle of August and the time is, I just won't be able to do it, but I'm planning to do it in October so I can share that later, you know, what did I do? And because I always like to track numbers for every single event that I do. It's like, okay, how many people I have, and then how many referrals came from that event, or how many clients, new clients came from that event. So that way I know where to put my energy. And if I have events and stuff like it doesn't really bring new clients or new business, I don't do it again. So I don't waste time and money and stuff that is not working. So all the time, and that's what I'm trying to. I didn't do that before. I started doing like since I came to EXP to start tracking.
That's awesome. I mean, you can keep a list of your bowling event and see who showed up. And out of those people, when they refer, you know that they got a reminder.
Yeah,
I mean,
I always ask my
clients who you are and what you do.
I always ask my clients, how do you hear about me? You know, how did you find me? And so that way I'm tracking what is working and what is not working. And that way, if a past client referred the business, I always send a card and say, hey, thank you so much for your business. I mean, for the referral, it helps me just to say like, thank you, you know. And even if, so I track that one too. So the clients they realize then, you know, that referral, I really appreciate passing my information to new clients. And
Love it.
Yeah, so here's
Love
my.
it. Okay, so let's start. Your front line is 21. You've been with the company for how many months?
2 years and
26 months?
Yeah.
26 months. So 21 agents in 26 months. So that's less than one agent a month. Overall, you have 47 in your organization. So the 21 of your frontline brought their friends, and now that's 47. Awesome. Yeah. How many FRQAs? So out of the 21, 11 are FRQAs. So that's about right. So company average is about 50%. So 50% of your agents are going to be producing agents. So if you bring 20, 10 of them are going to be producing agents. So everybody knows the difference between FLA and FRQA. Yeah. If somebody doesn't, let me know and I'll explain it. And then the next number, you don't? Okay. So FLA are all the agents that you personally brought to the company. Those are your frontline active agents. So they're active. They're paying their $85 a month. They are an active agent. An FLQA is frontline qualifying agent. And what makes them qualifying is that they have sold at least, well, they have generated at least $5,000 of commission in a 6 months period. That can be 2 houses, it could be 5 rentals, it could be 1 transaction. As long as they generated, you're welcome, as long as they generated 5,000 in commission in a 6 months period, it makes them a qualifying agent. So for example, who asked this question, by the way?
Care.
I care. So I sponsored care. So for example, as soon as care sells her first transaction, or you might have already, I don't know care, but as soon as she sold, until she sold a transaction with us and generated a 5,000 commission, she was what's considered an FLA, a first line active agent to me. As soon as she sold her first transaction and it was more than $5,000 commission, she becomes an FLQA and she stays an FLQA for 6 months. After that, it falls off. So then she has to qualify again. Does that make sense? So that's the difference between FLEs and FLQAs. Now you also have to look at your FLQA list, or how fast you are attracting agents, because Yasmin's is about 50%. Mine is right around that too. What is mine? 116, and we have 69, I think. So out of 116 agents, we have 69 FLQAs. So right around a little bit more than 50%. So with that being said, what you want to look at is, even though her frontline number is 21, she attracted 4 agents last month alone, which means even if they sold the transaction day 1, it's going to take 30 to 45 days to close, and it's going to take another 30 days to pay out revenue share. So even if the agent comes over with a transaction right away, it's going to take you 2 months before they show up as an FLQA in the system. So out of the 21, we really can't take in consideration 4 of them because they're brand new with Yasmin. Makes sense? So technically only 17 that are active, they've been with her for a while. And out of the 17, 11 of them qualify. So those are really good numbers, Yasmin. And then what does that pay you today? I mean, where's revenue share with 21 agents and 11 FLQAs?
So it's $2,100.
$100. That's awesome. So $2,500, $2,498 last month, which I'm assuming pays your mortgage.
Yeah.
And then above and beyond. So just think of it this way.
Yeah, as I said, because that's the only
expense you have.
expense we have.
Yeah, because I know your car is paid off and all of this. So look at it this way. What if you knew that for the rest of your life, this is the least amount of money you're going to make? Because revenue share grows. If you think about it, that 21 agents that she personally brought, even if she stops right now, that doesn't mean that they do. That doesn't mean that
February, my revenue share was 300. So you can see it's growing.
When?
February. Yeah, like it was 300.
So in February was 300, and in June, because we just got paid June numbers, it was 2,400, 2,500 pretty much. So that is what percentage?
I think June was 1,500. No, June was 1,500, and then July is going to be 20 something, 2,100.
So you had a 500% growth since February.
Yeah.
So if you continue that, 2,500. Hold on, 2,500 times 500% equals, you should have 12,500 a year from now this time, a month. If you continue the same growth.
Which is really hard.
But technically not a year from now, technically in February, so it's March, April, May, June, July, in 5 months. If you continue growing the same way that you have been, because that was 6 months numbers, in 5 months you grew 500%. That's pretty much 100% a month.
That's crazy.
You know what's crazy? That those are real numbers, and I can show you because it happened to me. I track numbers and I forecast numbers with the same growth because I want my brain to understand the possibility.
And I think that's what I need to do. I track on production. So right now I know what I have, I want to get here. I know how to do, I know what do I need to do.
So I will explain you guys something, and then I will show you guys something. Are you guys open to that?
But for agent attraction, I think I don't really know how to track and project,
I'll show you that then.
But I think you're going to have a training for that pretty soon, I think.
Yeah. We're going to do numbers tomorrow, but let me make sure this is the right, it is.
I have to hop off. I'll switch over to my phone because I got to go to Ryan's high school orientation.
Yeah, you can go.
Okay.
I will have to soon because I have a closing at 3, but yeah.
Okay, are you guys ready? So here's the reason I'm going to explain first why I do projections. I do projections for two reasons. A, I want to see the possibility, but B, I want to see the possibility with my eyes. Does that make sense? Because my brain, the opportunity here at EXP is so good that my brain cannot even comprehend, and that is a possibility. Does that make sense? I would have never in my entire life would have guessed that even what I have today is possible. And every time with the percentage of growth that we have been projecting, which we polled every month this year, it is impossible for my brain to understand on its own unless I see it with my own two eyes. Does that make sense? And as soon as I can see it, my brain can comprehend it. When I can comprehend it, I can have it. But if my brain thinks it's not possible, I have to teach my brain to believe it's possible. And the only way I can teach my brain to believe it's possible if I can see it with my own two eyes. That's why I project our goals. And then I look at our goals every single month. And then when we look at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, we are this close to meet it. We are this close to meet it. And we have met it pretty much all year. So let me show you. And let me tell me if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So as you can see, I like to track green and red. Red means we did not meet our goal. Green means we have met our goal. Okay. If you look at my growth from January, just like yours, to this month, this is active numbers right now. So this actually, this is this month. In July, I got 52,000 something. So if you look at it, or no, this is what's projected. This is what I got. Okay. So if you look at these numbers, we were projecting 17,000 for the month of January. I only got 15. Then we projected 21, I got 14. We projected 25, we got at 23. We projected 30, we got 34. We caught up. We projected 36, we got 35.9, which was very close, but we didn't hit it. And last month we projected 43 and we got 50. This month projecting 52 and we are at 46. So I think we are going to meet this month's goal as well. But if I don't see these projections, there's no freaking way that my brain would understand the opportunity and the possibility of making $52,000 in revenue share in a month. I just couldn't, because it's so impossible to my brain to realize that that can be my reality.
That is crazy. 50,000.
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah.
This last month on the 22nd, I got $50,092.79 plus Dwayne's, because Dwayne has its own downline. Mm-hmm. This is mine. So the reason I wanted you guys to see this, and I want you to start tracking, even if you have one agent, track your growth. Because the only way you can see how far you came is if you have these numbers to look back. And the only way you can see the opportunity if you forecast, so your brain can understand the possibility. But if you look at the agent count, even though we have reached our revenue share, we did not reach our agent count. We missed it by like almost 30 some agent. Which means to me that even though we didn't hit the head count, we got better producing agents because we hit our revenue share. But I wouldn't know that unless we tracked it. And also, here's another way that we track things. I don't like this one so much, but I want you guys to see these numbers. These are my favorite to track. So and here's the problem, guys. With the way EXP dashboard is built, if you miss your numbers in 1 month, you cannot go back and track it. They go poof.
Gogo, you have 8 more minutes.
Thank you. So you want to be able to track these numbers and do it on the dot. It's a reminder in my phone. We know each day of the month when we're tracking this, and just sit down and track it. Plug it in here. It'll be here for the rest of your life, and then you can track your growth. So my goal is to have every single month have a green. I just want greens. I don't want any reds. So if you look at July, everything was green. And I can tell you all of the productions and everything. So in June of 21, we had 529 agents. That's a 7% growth from the month before. We had the revenue share was 50,000, which is a 39% growth from the month before. But if you look at it, I also track what is that year to year. So if I continue to grow 26.91%, which is my average, what is that going to look like next year? And that's why that's where we pull these numbers from that I showed you. That's where this is pulled from. If we pull the average 26%, this is what these numbers are going to look like. And I'm sorry, but look at December. If I showed you my January, what have you guessed that the opportunity in December is that?
That is crazy.
Raise your hand if your brain told you that 17,000 in January means 130,000 in December. What have you think it's possible?
No.
There's no freaking way. My brain would tell me there's no freaking way. But there is. If I go back to my numbers, there is absolute way that you can do it if you can pull your average, which then you only know, let me pull this up. You only know your average because you track it. So now here, I see that we only grew 7% in agents, but we grew 39% in revenue share, which means our agents that we are attracting are 4 times as producing as the agents before. Make sense? Now we did 280 transactions, which from the month before at 210, we grew 33% in transactions. 131 agents did those transactions, which we grew 19%. Again, the agents we are having are more producing because we didn't grow as many in agent count that we grew in transactions, which means the same agents are doing more transactions. But the only way I know that is because we're tracking it. We did 84 million in production in a month. And mind you, I can only track the numbers up until you cap. I don't see what you do above capping. So really, we probably did 250,000 this month, but we only see up to capping. But even then, we did 58 million a month before, we did 84 million this month. That's a 44% growth. The average price per home went up from 278 to 301. That's a 7.6% growth. So we are selling more expensive houses. And then the average agent in my revenue share, the month before was worth $72. Now it's worth 94. So if you take this 94.69 times 582 agents that we have in the company, my revenue share a month should be right there this month. But if you think about it, the last 45 agents that we have this month that joined us are brand new. So we're going to have to deduct those because they can't possibly close a transaction and make money for it. So that's 585 minus 42 agents, I think. That's 543 times 94.69 equals 51,416. And that's exactly what forecasted is 52,000. You remember my forecast right here? 52,000. But I wouldn't know that unless I tracked it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And isn't it much easier for your brain to realize, hold on a minute. If I could do it the last month and this is my average and I can easily do that, if I keep pulling the same weight that I've been pulling, I should have these results in December, which for my brain, it's still impossible, but I will make my brain to believe that it's possible. Because I can see it. If I can see it, it's reality.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you want to track your numbers. And I love it. So we are going to talk about only what we talk about tomorrow is numbers in the Team Gogo training. These reports, these things that we use here, guys, all of my trackers, it is unbranded and it's ready for all of you. All you need to do is download it from the Team Gogo Google folder and start tracking your numbers. But I will walk through all of this with you guys. Tomorrow, we'll talk about what it takes for you to icon. We'll talk about what it takes for you to cap. We'll talk about any numbers that you can possibly think of that you want me to help you run. So be there tomorrow so we can do that for you. So then your brain can see it. So then you can get it done.
Yes, I'm excited for tomorrow. I can't wait to track.
I know, I love tracking. I love seeing how far I came. And the only way you can see it if you tracked it.
Yeah.
So any questions very quick? I have 1 minute, then I have to hop off of here because I have my guest actually on the line here. I'm just not admitting them into the room.
I have a question for Yasmin.
Yeah.
So a while back, I think it was your birthday, and I tagged you in like the group chat, and I was wondering if you can share that Monopoly board thing that you have for first-time home buyers.
Oh
or
yeah,
for buyers, because I think that would be like super useful here.
It is in Team Gogo. It is in the training, the last training. I don't know if Mariana can you tag her in that?
Yes. Yes, I
the
think you
exact-
added on the
yeah.
comments, right?
Yes, I put it in the comments. Yeah,
I'll
it's
tag you
right
on the
there.
post there.
Okay, thank you.
No, you're welcome. And it's I already removed my information, so you can actually put yours.
Oh, thank you so
Using
much.
it. Yeah, you're welcome.
This is why I love EXP. And I love our Team Gogo family because we love on each other. Thanks, Yasmin, for sharing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for being here today. I hope you learned something new. Go and implement it, because without implementing what you learn, you will stay where you're at. Okay, so you have to implement what you learn so you can move on to the next level of your life. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
See you. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, Yasmin.
Thank you, Yasmin. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Again, a reminder, you cannot share these numbers. This is for your eyes only. Okay, you can talk about certain things for your agent attraction purposes, but you cannot put it out there for the world to see what my revenue share is, or what my stocks is, or what Yasmin's is, or what any of ours is. We are not allowed to share those numbers. Okay, you can talk about how many agents we have in the group. You can talk about, stocks in general and all that. You just cannot share each of our numbers because that's against company policy. The reason I shared with you guys is so it helps you understand the company better, and also helps you see the opportunity in the company. Okay, bye everyone. See you
Bye.
soon.
Thanks for